Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Just a Moment with Mr. Just in Time. Justin Williams here as the co-team leader in the Keller Williams Realty office in Vestavia. And today we got a special guest, Mr. Kendall Simpkins, the smoothest man in real estate. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. How you?
Good. Now, y'all listen. Kendall is also a part of the greatest fraternity in the world, Kappa Alpha Psi. Shout out to the noobs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, I'm excited to sit down with my frat brother as well as one of my colleagues and just learn a little bit about his business. So, Kendall, before we start talking about business and how you, man, just blown it wide open in real estate,
I appreciate it.
Talk to us a little bit about your story, like where you're from, who you are, family, all that good stuff.
All right, yeah. So, grew up as a military brat.
Okay.
My dad was in the Air Force for 25 years. So, grew up around a military environment, moved around a bit. A lot of people don't know I was homeschooled for a little bit until I was about, I think up to the 5th grade. So, because we moved around so much, it was the easy thing to do.
Right.
And so, did that, and then he ended up retiring here in Montgomery, Alabama at Maxwell Air Force Base.
Okay.
And so, once he retired there, we settled in roots and then, went from there. And then quite naturally, I just got in the military myself. So I served in the U.S. Army for about 10 years.
Thank you for your service.
Appreciate that. As an officer. And through a couple different avenues, went to Auburn, Montgomery for a little bit. Didn't quite work out after my freshman year. I worked for a little bit and then ended up getting back into school, going to Marion Military Institute.
Okay.
Where I commissioned as an officer, got in the Army. And I ended up finishing my bachelor's at Alabama, which I was there for 2.5, 3 years.
Gotcha.
And then hit the workforce after that. Ended up getting some little odd and end jobs, and then end up eventually getting on with the railroad, which I kind of really sunk my teeth in. Moved all around the country, Houston, Chicago, St. Louis, and really worked there. And then living that lifestyle, working the railroad, turned me on to better side of things in real estate. So
Gotcha. So I mean, it sounds like you had an opportunity to travel with the military, just through the things you were doing with the military, and just traveling on your own with working in the coal mine. Working with the railroad.
Yep.
And just like family and all of those things. So I know a lot of military people say, man, I had to move like 15 times because we were always going to a different place. Do you know how many times y'all actually moved?
It wasn't that many, but it was like 5 or 6.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that last settlement in Montgomery is kind of really what you.
Yeah, my dad's from Montgomery, so it worked out perfectly.
Cool. So you kind of came back home.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So how did you find real estate? I know you were making great money working on the railroads, but I'm pretty sure that's tax and work. So like, how did you find real estate? What got you into the business?
So working railroad for a couple years. I remember I was in Chicago. It was one of my first promotion I got. And if you know about the railroad, all railroads have a major hub in Chicago, all the railroad companies. Okay. So it's a huge hub, huge place for railroad. But it's a super demanding and super busy place. And just, man, working the hours, on call all the time, just super demanding. And I just, thought to myself, I got to find a different way. I got to find a different route. And just start doing research, start doing some reading, start looking up some different stuff. And I end up buying a home course by 𝘺𝘠 𝐺𝐲𝑳. Wholesaling was essentially what it was. And so I started taking the course, doing that. And I started going out, booking showings with listing agents to go see homes that would be potentially wholesale deals. And so learning the contracts and doing all that all on my own, on my spare time, on nights and weekends, just trying to learn it, get out in the, I figured, getting into real estate this way would be a pretty good way. And the more I learned about real estate, the more I learned about, investment properties, the more I didn't really look at the sales side as far as turnkey at that moment, but just was focused on wholesaling. That's how I kind of got into real estate.
Got it. So I know you got in on the investor world. So being on the agent world, like how much different is it for you? Like, man, I kind of learned on the investor role but now I'm on the actual serving buyers and sellers role on a day-to-day basis. Do you see any difference in those two?
Yeah. It's a huge difference.
Okay.
Investors, numbers. It's all. If the numbers don't work, it's not even worth going after. But on the sales side, it's way more personable, and I feel a lot more comfortable. It fits my personality a little better. We work with people, working on goals, where they looking for something or they're looking to sell, whatever that might be. Working the situation that way is a lot more personable on the sales side for sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know you have I mean, there are multiple ways in order to do real estate and be successful. Independent agent, team,
Yeah.
a bunch of different ways in order to do this. I know you started out on the individual agent side for a stint of time, and then you decided to go the team route, and now you're thriving with the Josh Vernon group here at the brokerage.
Right.
Like, talk to us about your journey going the team route.
Yeah, so the team route, people look at the team route and they have their negative views on it, but I looked at it in a different way. I'm looking long term. I'm looking at development. I'm only right now 4.5 years in real estate on the sales side. And the way I looked at it was, even though I kind of cut my teeth early on the individual side, I'm looking at being in an environment around some people that have a system in place. They have a process in place. They have support in place. A lot of the heavy lifting as far as personal expenses on the business side, those are relieved. So you really can just focus on maintaining clients, onboarding new clients, and taking your clients to the closing table. And then it's kind of like a process, rinse and repeat. And also, educational standpoint, you're around people that have done it for years and years and years. Josh and Jamie have had a successful team for quite a while now, and they're at the top. And the way I looked at it is, hey, I want to learn from the best. I want to, be around the best.
Right.
I want to soak in the knowledge from the best because, it's all about learning. Like I said, I feel like now I'm still a rookie in the game, even though I've been 4.5 years. And I know I have a ton more to learn.
Yeah.
But it's all about just experiences. It's all about the knowledge you can soak in, being around the people that are successful at doing it. Because eventually, you'll be in the same spot. That's the way I looked at it.
And I think you're wise for looking at it from that perspective, because so many people just beat their head against the wall like, man, I'm not having the success that I want, or man, I'm trying to figure this thing out on my own. And a lot of people get frustrated, and either they burn out, they just get out of the business, they go back to finding a job, things of that nature, and they never really look at the option of joining a team.
Yeah.
A lot of times, a lot of us come from some level of corporate background.
Yep.
So we're used to the structure of being at work at a certain period of time and having community with other people that you work with, and having somebody that's actually able to show you the way at work. But then we get into real estate because we want the flexibility, the freedom, and the financial benefits.
Be your own boss.
Right, and be your own boss.
Yeah.
But if you've never been your own boss, it's kind of hard to be your own boss.
It's
real hard. You're trying to be the boss, and you're trying to do all the jobs, and you're trying to do all the things, and it just gets frustrating a lot of times. So I think you're wise for saying, you know what, man, I got into business in order to learn. I got into business in order to do deals. I got into business in order to make money. I'm not finna sit here and just spin my wheels in the mud.
Right.
I'm gonna go about it a different route, get all the knowledge I can get, make as many relationships as I can make, learn from some of the best people, make a whole lot of money, all that kind of stuff, and just do what I need to do in order to make this thing work.
Yeah, exactly right.
Right. And I think that's wise. So I know, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, people kind of look at the team option from a negative light to an extent. Talk to us about the aspect from a financial standpoint. So I know most people be like, man, I don't want to join a team because, there's a split with the team, and then maybe there's a split with the brokerage. But I think you've identified something that's extremely profound. You're looking at, what is my bottom line as a business owner? Even though I'm on a team, I still kind of have my own business and my own bottom line of the income that I want to be able to make. So, talk to us about that focus of, man, I'm looking at the income that I'm bringing in versus getting lost in the weeds about splits and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and that's, quite natural. I did at first too. That was my little hesitancy at first. But as you learn, once you're in real estate on the individual side, there are other costs.
Right.
You have, of course, your NAR stuff. You have your brokerage fees. You have business cards. You got to, of course, gas when you're driving to these showings. Right. That's not relief for you on the team, but all the expenses that kind of associate marketing,
administrative support.
Right. If you want a TC, it's just a ton of stuff. It's a long list of stuff that hey, I mean, even before you get your first deal, you have to have some of these things in place and running before you can be successful. And being on a team, I say 90% of those things are taken care of by the team as an organization. So you're just a piece that just plugs in as a sales associate, and we have an amazing admin staff. They do, over and beyond stuff for everything, so they make it so smooth. It's a system in place, and all you're worried about doing is meeting new people, meeting new sellers, meeting new buyers, and maintaining the ones that you've already acquired, and making sure their experience is top-notch, world-class from start to finish, even after closing to maintain that relationship. But it just makes it where you can be one-track minded on just doing business. And at the end of the day, that's what we're all trying to do.
Right.
And all the extra stuff that comes along with that can get in the way of you thinking that it might not be worth it. But when you look at it from that aspect, I mean, they just put you in a spot where you can just be great.
Yeah, and and another thing that you kind of highlighted, I know a lot of times people feel like, man, when I join the team, I lose my individuality. Yeah. But as you mentioned, all of the other stuff gets taken off my plate, so I can really focus on making relationships with new clients.
Yep.
Yes, they're working with me because we're a part of the team, but as we work through the transaction, they're getting to know me.
Exactly.
And they're getting an opportunity to potentially refer me business through this relationship that was initiated through the team, but they get a chance to know me. You know? So I think, again, that's something that I think a lot of people get lost in the sauce on.
They do.
But you've really honed in and identified, man, I'm going to leverage this platform, leverage this opportunity with the team and all the great leaders that we have on the team and the other great agents that we have on the team to really be beneficial for my own bottom line, to be able to know, hey, I'm going to make this amount of money, and then I'm going to take this amount of money and be able to do all the things that I want to do, provide a great life for my family and travel and invest and all the things that you are currently doing and that you desire to do in the future.
Yep, exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah. So again, I know we were talking about you being a successful agent. So let's actually dive into the business.
All right, let's dive in.
The business part. So I know you've had some good years in the past, but like you're on a tear right now. Like
I appreciate that.
You're going crazy out here. Okay. So talk to us, like, what do you think that you're going to finish this year from a unit perspective and possibly a volume perspective?
Right now I got 33 units closed, and I'm at like 9.9 million in volume. I have almost 2 million pending right now, and I have a couple, right there. But yeah, it's been an amazing year from start to finish, and it kind of makes me pause and think about it, because I remember the years when I had 2 and I felt like I was doing all right.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely been a blessing. It's definitely been an opportunity that makes me even want to go harder now that you have these lofty goals you set every year, and then you actually hit the goal or above the goal that you set, and now it's like, okay, this is a real thing. It's possible. So let's put the pedal down and really see what we can do. And it's kind of got me in that mindset now, already looking to 26 to see what that's going to bring and what that's going to develop into. And so it's definitely made it real for me, for sure.
And we're having this conversation in November, so you still got a little bit more.
Got a little bit of squeeze in, yeah.
So, realistically, you may close the year out at roughly about 12 million.
Yeah.
If not a little bit more.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Man, that's a strong year.
I appreciate that.
That is a strong year, man. Kudos to you. So, talk to us about the journey of, man, I was trying to figure it out. I joined the team. I didn't see immediate success. And then things just started to gradually grow. One of the things that I will give you amazing credit for is when we come in that office, when we come in the front door in the morning time, we know Kendall's going to be in there banging it out on the phone. You're here early, you're making your calls. You're not here all night. You come in early, you do what you got to do. You're making the calls. You're going out on your appointments. You're closing the deals. You get a chance to be at home with the family and all those things. But talk about that grind season of, man, I'm just in here banging it out on the phone, making these calls. And I hadn't seen the success that I want to see, but then eventually it shows up.
Yeah, and that's the toughest part. And that's what kind of led me in the beginning stages to being, it's lonely as an individual agent. Starting off, it's so much you're trying to learn, there's so much you're trying to take on. You're going to sales meeting, there's so much knowledge getting poured on you. You're around all these agents on awards day. The numbers are crazy. You don't get a certificate month after month after month after month. And it's just like it kind of weighs on you, and it kind of makes you. It might discourage some people.
Right.
I know at some point it discouraged me, and it challenged me, and I didn't want to back down from it. And so just taking a day at a time, a next logical step at a time, not trying to jump too far into it, but doing what can I do right now to get better. And really, it's just a day by day thing. And then once I got on the first team I was on, I think at 23, because I think I got my license 21. I closed my first sale like a couple months later, it was a referral from an agent back home that I knew.
Okay.
February 22, I got another listing, closed that, and I think February is the only thing I had. 22 is the only thing I had. Mm-hmm. And then 23, I think I closed 4. And then every year just continue to progress. But that's where it started, though. On the team, you got to make contacts. You got to talk to people. You got to have conversations. You got to vet people, for lack of a better word. But the grind season is tough because you're going to have months where you're making calls, or we tracked our dials. You're making 150, 200 calls a day. And then you got the conversations. You got to track those. You got to track how many appointments you're booking. And you're tracking all these numbers, and sometimes appointments don't show up, and sometimes the conversations don't show up. You just dialing, getting hung up on, getting cussed out when the people, it's rough, and it's a mental strain, especially when you're not used to it. I wasn't. Sales was something that was kind of foreign to me until I got into real estate, and man, getting comfortable on the phone is a journey. It took a couple years, and still now I get nervous on some phone calls. But doing something over and over again and having a result that you're looking for and you don't get, it can be a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you, it can be a lot. But making it through that and getting those small wins and not really saying, hey, I don't have to close a house today. I just need to get an appointment today.
Right.
And on the appointment, I don't need to get a contract that day. I just need to create a relationship in order to get a contract later. Jen has a perfect scenario where she has the wall of opportunity,
wall of value,
wall of value, and it steps. In order to get a closing, you got to have a contract. In order to have a contract, you got to have an agreement, and you have to backwards plan it all the way to an appointment, and that starts with a conversation. And so, focusing on that aspect rather than, man, I need a closing, is kind of what helped me just focus on the small steps. And once you hit those steps and you start stacking those up, before you know it, you go into a closing, and then next thing you got another showing, you got another contract you're writing, and it kind of snowballs.
Right.
And it's just putting the work in is where it all starts, for real.
Man, well, that speaks to your mental fortitude. So congratulations to you, man.
I appreciate it.
For kind of hanging in there when times were tough and sticking it in, and just like, man, I'm going to have the right mindset around this. It's tough right now, but I'm going to keep digging in. I'm going to keep doing what I need to do, and the results eventually will show up. I know we use this analogy a lot. Y'all see he's fit, so he'll get the analogy, but it's like going to the gym.
Yep.
Those first few times, you're like, man, I'm tired, I'm sore, I don't want to keep going, I got to eat right too.
Yep.
All these things. I keep going to the gym, I don't see the scale moving, I don't see the results in the mirror.
Yeah.
And then eventually the results just start showing up because the consistency is just, you're just staying in there consistent, and you start seeing the results. And that's the same thing that I see that you've done in your real estate career. You're like, man, it's tough. I don't like the rejection. I don't like getting hung up on. I don't like people not necessarily wanting to work with me.
Yeah.
I want to try to build a rapport, but they kind of being cold on the phone, and you just stuck it through. So
yeah,
for you to say, man, I'm making 100 calls or better in a day, that is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like a lot of us, me included, I don't want to have to make 100 calls in a day. Like sometimes you have to.
Sometimes,
right?
yeah.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but like to make 100 calls in a day,
yeah,
and just like, all right, I'm gonna dig through it, man. That's major. That's major.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's shift gears just a little bit, because I know we've talked a lot about your real estate business and your progression in your business. So, talk to us about Kendall outside of work. So, I know you're a recently newly married husband, okay, and you all have a beautiful little girl.
We do.
So, what is it like managing work and family, especially having all of these new things in life? New wife, I know you all have been married a couple of years now, but new wife, ideally, new child, ideally, getting a career off the ground in real estate. Like, talk to us about managing and navigating through that challenge.
I'm gonna throw this at you. So 2023, I end up, so 1 month, I think it was February, I walked away from the railroad, got married that same year as well, and found out we were pregnant within like 3 or 4 months. So it all hit all at once. But
hey, that's a lot.
Yeah, it all hit at once. But man, it's been a blessing, and you know, just being used to a rigorous schedule with the railroad and the military kind of helped me once I got into real estate. And you make your own schedule. You know, you work, make your schedule around your personal, make your schedule around business, and so that was easy to adjust for me. But I'm blessed to be in an industry like real estate where balancing family and personal stuff, you can make room for that and you can schedule around that. And that's definitely helped out a bunch. I've definitely been able to be a part of my family a lot more than I would have been if I stayed with the railroad, for sure. And that's led me to the decision to leave the railroad. It's just the demanding lifestyle and not being able to be where you want to be when you need to be. So that's what led me to that. And it's been great. It's worked out perfectly. I mean, I wouldn't have no other way, being able to make your own schedule and not work when you don't want to, but sometimes you work when you don't want to. It's just all on you. And then being able to have a family support and being able to have family around that is perfect.
Gotcha. So, of course, I know managing a real estate career where you got people calling you all the time because they want to see houses.
Yeah.
You know, they want to write a contract and so on and so forth. Managing all the things with family. Baby got to go places and family wants to travel and all that type of stuff. Has Kendall had an opportunity to carve out any time, like just a tad bit, where he can still get a chance to enjoy it? And I don't necessarily mean like, man, I got all this time to myself, but just talk to us about like what Kendall likes to do when Kendall has a little time for itself.
Well, I get up early. So my thing is I can get up for about 30 minutes before I go to the gym. Mm-hmm. So my quiet time in the morning and my gym time is kind of my personal time. Once I come back from the gym, getting the family up and ready for the day is the day's gone now. You got to work, you got to schedule, right. You got stuff. I mean, you look up, it's already 3 o'clock. So that's where I cherish those morning hours where I could, read, pray, go to the gym, kind of get my mind right, because I found out definitely in real estate that you're only going to grow as much. Your business is only going to grow as much as you do. Mm-hmm. And so really honing in on that and really putting time in on mindset, growth, and just being better, in all areas as much as you can. It just helps you with your business as well. But that's kind of my quiet time. Outside of that, sports and outdoors is kind of my thing. Fishing, hunting, outdoors.
I remember seeing the post where you and your dad and maybe some of the other
deep sea fishing trip.
Yeah. Talk to us about that. That looks fun.
Man, it was a great time. I think we went off like 40 or 60 miles off coast, and we had a great time. Caught some red snappers, some wahoo, some other fish. Had amazing memories. And so the sports and outdoors is something I was raised around. Mm-hmm. Played sports growing up, outdoors, outside all the time growing up, and so this is something I always enjoy, for real.
Well, cool, man. Well, look, keep fishing, because I know that brings you peace.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Special time with your family, like your dad and maybe some of your uncles and some of the men that are in your lives and things like that. So I know that's a special moment for you. So keep fishing.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna sell a lot of real estate, but keep fishing in the meantime too. Well, look, man. As we kind of get ready to wrap things up, I know you're a visionary. So I mean, clearly you've already articulated that. You talked about, man, I had an idea of this is going to create stability by going ahead and joining the military, and I've taken that journey. I went down the railroad journey to be able to do that. I realized, like, in order for me to kind of develop the family that I want to develop, I need to make a transition in career opportunities. Yeah. Now you're building your real estate business. You have a vision of what that looks like. Like, when it's all said and done, where do you see yourself in real estate? Like, what is it that you ultimately want to be able to achieve through this career?
Man, well, I definitely want to remain on the sales side, but as you remember in the beginning, I got into it on the investment side. So that's the side that I eventually want to be able to get in and be able to develop, more in my career. Investments, long-term investments, short-term investments, flips, and all that. I still have a passion for that stuff, even though right now it's not really my bread and butter, but I definitely want to get to that point, and then just continue being the best I can be as far as serving buyers and sellers. I definitely want to always have that in my repertoire and continue, being great. And I definitely want to get into. I've been in leadership a lot, the military and with corporate jobs. So I definitely want to be able to find the opportunities where I can get into leadership and give back and help nurture young agents where exactly I was just a few short years ago and get them on the path, because it's doable. It's doable. Right. It's definitely doable, even though it might feel like at times that it's not. Being in the right environment, being in the right brokerage,
right,
having the right leadership, having the right guidance, and the right people pouring into you. I mean, it makes a world of a difference. I'm a prime example. So, I definitely want to help others out.
Yeah, clearly you're an example. And I like the fact that you got your eyes on the prize from an investment standpoint. Of course, that's why you got into the business at the very beginning. But you haven't lost sight of that. And you've identified, like, I'm going to make cash in my business in order to really be able to catapult my real estate investing journey. I'm going to learn all I need to learn so I know how to navigate. I'm going to build as much cash as I can. Ideally joining the team and not having all those extra expenses. I can just focus on building the cash reservoir that I want to have in order to make for my investment purchases and all the different things, carrying life and family and all that type of stuff, but also focusing on the investment piece. Because at the end of the day, like, we all love real estate and we all love serving buyers and sellers, but at some point you want to be able to stick your toes in the sand.
Yeah,
you just want to be able to go and fish any day you want to. You want your own property with a lake at the back where you can just get out there on the boat and go fish and hang out. So I like that you still have your eyes on the prize on that piece as well.
For sure.
So listen, as we close out, just a quick round of a few things about Kendall.
All right, let's do it.
So what's your favorite local restaurant?
Local restaurant.
And it don't have to be local, just like if you had a favorite restaurant, like, man, if I got to go to this place, whether it's here or somewhere else, it's like, man, if I'm in town, I got to go to this place.
Oh, man, I like all types of food. Man, that's a tough one. I'm going to go with half shell seafood.
Hey.
That's
clearly, you like the fish.
Got a little Cajun twist to it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely good.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
All right. So I know you say you're a sports person. Are you a football, basketball?
I like them both. Baseball, football, man, soccer, boxing.
Okay.
All of it.
As long as it's a sport. Like
I'm interested.
Okay. All right, cool. Are you, what would you consider to be like your dream vacation spot?
Anywhere tropical. Anywhere tropical. Got a beach, some water. I'm good to go.
Gotcha. Okay. So as we kind of round out, what do you feel like is one word that would describe your real estate career thus far?
For one word, I would say resilience. Just being resilient. Just kind of working through all the glass ceilings and just keep going up. That's what I say.
Okay. All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just a moment. Again, right here with Mr. Kendall Simpkins. Thank y'all for joining us. We'll see you next time.